let's get started on the next group for profiles.
Originally under the car before
Starting
war.
off with the remaining new unit I got,
Need to
the Fang.
leave it to me.
Fang. His battle skill allows him to deal knockdown to all enemies in the area effect. His combo happens when the control operator performs final strike on an enemy with physical suspectability or breach. Another unit can use breach. We don't have that unit. I don't have that unit. And his ultimate, it applies knockdown, and his thing also grants link, which next battle skill or ultimate cast during for a team is increased with increases damage. He's from Hongshan, same as Chen. He is an Anasa, expertise 1, agility, Zeonite power. A lad equipped with the latest experimental Zeonite prosthetic. His chrome features great power, speed, and sensitivity. His natural lore is he's a planter. People who share his childhood, nurturing life seems like second nature. Hobbies 1, sports, martial meditation. An aspiring traveler needs mental and physical fortitude. One needs a strong body to travel far. And he's also a keen traveler. Much of this world remains unknown to him. Nevertheless, he regards these mysteries as future duties that he must try to live up to. His birthday is July 16th, month away. He is oropathy positive, and for his physical examination, standard, excellent, normal, and standard. Li Feng is a native of Wuling City. He voluntarily chose to work at Enfield Industries and is currently interning at the Specialist Tech Division. Youth exhibited an innocent naivety and sincerity that far exceeds our applications. I rarely received an employment form with such details about the applicant's personal life. In fact, in compliance with the articles of our privacy policy, I requested the youth to redact parts that may be considered too private for disclosure. Oh, excuse me. His smiles are genuine, a highly empathetic individual. Despite being an intern, he has agreed to take on many tasks, and he also has an extremely useful skill set. Setting him on board is something every HR assistant would love to see. It was another busy day aboard, as usual, aboard the job. Not many people took notice of the new operator. Li Feng also did not do anything particular, but he soon caught some tension by the third day he came aboard the ship. People started talking about a lad doing morning exercises in the growth chamber. On arrival, there, the team found an Anasa meditating cross-legged in the chamber. Eyes shut, breath steady. Those who reported seeing a soft, gentle glow emanating from his body. No one knew if they were seeing things or if the phenomenon was a result of artificial lightning from the cultivation tanks. He's sarcasm, that's why. Nothing to be worried about. Must be a spirit. I think might be some Yanni's technique. I think it's called Ki. It doesn't matter what it's called. Omni sat down and brought forth some vibrant serenity. It's like a form of artsy power that made me want to call him Young Master. Young Master? I think he's more like the young warrior from the martial arts movies that Shen showed us yesterday. Shh, I think he heard us, and he's turning around. Quick, hide! After a brief, noisy moment, the lance made a few random flashes on the lighting module. Three fluid inlets and outlets to the control module were split open. Three fluid inlets and outlets of the control module were split open. He saw the youth fumbling to get back on his feet to wave off the white, billowing smoke around. The youth then stunned faintly. I'm so sorry. I thought nobody was using this place. He realized he was just a boy, but the realizations gave way to confusion. How do you look so young and old at the same time? Li Feng looked confused. Because the Anasas are old and wise race, but I'm still a little young? It was an enlightening answer, meaningful in some way, but also wholly incapable of answering the question. Li Feng, the young master, or young warrior, gave off an aura of rarely observed contradiction. He was an ancient yet young, stiff yet flexible. These quirks were further verified as people started to befriend him. The first to notice Li Feng's ability was provisional combat instructor Lil Dodge. The instructor gave nothing but praise about operator Li Feng's spear fighting skills after a friendly spar. The instructor, notorious for strictness, lavished extremely rare praises on operator Li Feng's multi-dimensional assessment report. Things like, Lin strikes weak faster than the average, hits with just the right force, a warrior of rare quality, and I really want to know where he learned how to fight. Li Feng was extremely surprised by these commendations and said that he was but a little boy playing sticks when compared to his master, Da Pan. After becoming the target of endless questioning and all sorts of bribes, Da Pan finally agreed to reveal certain secrets. The Ursus confessed he was not good with children, but Zhuang Fengyi gave him the important task of training Li Feng. Finding himself stuck with an energetic and inquisitive kid who followed him anywhere, Da Pan found a solution. He purchased over 600 videotapes of folk festivals and plays from a Hongshan antique store and allowed Li Feng to watch TV all day. He did not expect the kid to become engrossed with what he saw and took it all in. One day, Li Feng took a cloth drawing pole to fool around with. It was at that moment when Da Pan realized the boy's potential. Let's just keep it down, Da Pan waved his meaty paw around. The kid barely scratched the surface in the martial arts. Sure, his hacks look great and horses are pretty, but true combat got nothing to do with that. So what is true combat all about? It's all about knowing. True combat is about defeating the opponent, not the spear. A spear wielder studies the spear manuals. A true fighter studies the foe. That's really deep, Master Da Pan. How exactly do we study that? Well, it boils down to personality. Just too much. He's just a kid. Li Feng has patience for it. And he's a meticulous one, too. Interesting note. This is the earliest time we had. This is the earliest time we've had mention of Zhuang Fengyi, because Li Feng actually is one of the starting. I could have actually pulled him from headhunting. Anyway,
Still waiting.
with him done, we're now going to go to Chen, because I got her to rank 100. We're going to be doing the next bit for her. I found that Chen Qianyu is always the first name in the invite list for all sorts of celebrations, retirement parties, and daily hangouts at various Enfield regional offices, as well as the John. Everyone would punch Chen Qianyu first when writing their invitation mail. This is not an alphabetical issue. Otherwise, Antal would be the first name on the list. Chen Qianyu is marked for incredible vibes and abilities to liven up the atmosphere of an otherwise somber cabin. Once she steps into a place, it would take her less than 5 minutes to get the most introverted operators to start talking and the most restrained operators to start smiling. In fact, she usually does not have to use too much diplomacy to achieve these effects. However, in fact, Chen's direct and straightforward nature means that tact and technique are often things she needs when communicating with other people. Chen actually relies on other properties when she livens up the atmosphere. Several operators attribute this to her warm, passionate smile. I'm sorry. Reading that sentence makes me think of the Simpsons when Ralph Wiggum was running for president. I'm voting for Ralph because his smile makes me think that everything's gonna be okay. That's what that sentence makes me think. And no, I'm not calling Chen Ralph. No way. She's not Ralph. Even if she is a dope from Blue Sechi's art videos. Because yes, Blue Sechi has done some Enfield stuff. They're all adorable, by the way. So if you don't, so I really would recommend you check out Blue Sechi's art videos on YouTube. Even if you're not into the Blue Archive segments, check them out. They're good and cute. Anyway, others believe that it is her excessive overreactions and her ability to inflate ordinary-looking ingredients into exciting moments. Incidents. Certain operators would emphasize Chen's seamless, endless reservoir of new ideas that bring about joy and happiness during recess, even for those unskilled in socializing. An example would be the tradition of office chair racing, which has been reinstated with Chen's insistence. Chen also actively took over movies aboard Jiang, though most of her picks having to be martial arts films from Yan. According to a few operators, when being a friend and listening to their accounts that day, Chen would bring up points that they had overlooked. Ren put sorted out seemingly convoluted incidents as neatly as their meticulously combed and kept twin ponytails. During the retirement party of Elite Operator, Supervisor Perlica got a little tipsy when going through a few glasses of tunneling midworm brew, low alcohol content, while Andre snoozed on a sofa and Chen, surrounded by a crowd, trimmed the engineer's eyebrows with a pair of scissors. The supervisor suddenly blurted out, "Chen has the power to make people feel safe." What? It's so loud here. Feel safe. I never heard these words from you before, Supervisor. Chen seems to regain her vigor by simply hanging around people. Even if her schedule were packed with field operations, she would do whatever she could to show up at various gatherings. She would liven up the event and then leave without a sound. When asked about this, Chen would say she was born without a serious need for sleep. Wait, Operator Chen probably uses up more stamina and energy than most people, right? Sure, she might have training in esoteric Yanese techniques, but how can anyone maintain such levels of energy on just 3 hours of sleep per day? Speaking of which, I actually saw her dozing off during her meditative sessions. Supervisor Perlica shook her head. Chen is determined to shoulder the brunt of it forever. Once she has set her mind on something, persuading her to give up is extremely difficult. Oh, I thought Shen's a really easygoing person. Maybe she's just a little slow. Supervisor Perlica, did you just say something bad about Chen? And file 3. Which yeah. Thought it was just one? No, we have 2. According to her birth certificate, which she found after an extended search through her personal belongings, Chen was born in a place far outside the civilization band in the year 132. 132. She does not recognize the name of the place or what happened there. Thankfully, she remembers everything about her wonderful childhood in Hongshan City. For example, the first sight of her memories was an evening where she was lying in her mother's embrace. The sharp ridges of Hongshan Crater resembled spears behind a wall of shields, like ancient fists raised high into the night skies of Talos 2. The first word she spoke in her memories was, "Oh," that looked like she voiced into an echo tube with plenty of jiggles. The echoes made it sound like a chorus of 1,000 voices. And Chen remembered her mother saying, "John Shan, you should call her Qian Yu. You'll probably end up at the bottom of her class like I did. So a simpler name will make it easier when teacher makes her write it over and over." The first sword of her memories was a stick carefully trimmed and sanded to remove all the thorns, barbs, and bark. The first reward of her memories was a gentle kiss on her head, word after she disarmed the wielder of another stick. The first time she understood things in her memories was when the grown-ups announced the Agaloy had arrived. Her mother suddenly opened the door hidden within the wardrobe and took out a blade she had never seen before, rushed out of their home. The first sad moments of her memories was after her 10th birthday party. Her father called her. There we go. He wiped the cream off her cheeks, told her the news. Never saw her mother ever since. I thought it was no big deal, Chen said. She had just met a Liberi this morning. Wouldn't they call herself Perlica? Though she resembled a TGCC Harris, she claimed she came from a place called Enfield. The two shared a mo bun besides a muttra. Although Chen was the one who put in a great deal more effort to push that bird beast cart, the quiet and well-behaved Perlica ate way more than she did. Then again, Chen got a smaller share because she spent most of the afternoon during moments from the first 20 years of her life. So it means that was the day she suddenly disappeared from her life. She didn't disappear, Chen said. I know she's still alive. We just don't know where she went and when she'd be back. She also made an important promise with me. Perlica nodded. Okay, I already shared more than enough already. What about your family, Perlica? Tell me about them. Just like yours, Perlica said quietly. I don't know. My family would return. And we also made an important promise. Oh, I guess we're really fated to meet each other. Chen grabbed Liberi's shoulder and felt her stiffen temporarily before relaxing. You know, I wonder if basically, well, okay. Before I give my thoughts, getting another thing, which means oh shit. Oh shit! It's theory stuff time. This is the Chen from the normal game. I'm curious on if this is the mother they refer to when talking about our Chen. If so, that's actually then. If so, that would actually that's kind of tying more of Enfield into the main game. Which honestly, I'm hoping they do more of that. I'm hoping. I don't want it brick by brick. I want small light stuff. You know, I want it small light stuff. Oh, shoot. Anyway, we now have one more. Alash. Alesh's daily routine. 6 a.m. Wakes up, prepares angling gear and bait, sharpens the hooks while mumbling stuff. Got really hooked these fins today. 6:30 a.m. Sets off. Throws some fin bones to the cloud beast strays in the streets. 6:45 to 9:15. Morning angling time. Finds a place where water flows slower, waits patiently for the fins. 9:15 to 10. Wraps up the angling gear. Checks his catch, inspects the conditions of the caught fins. Special catches are set aside for other uses. 10 to 11 p.m. Fin stall morning shift. Fins are arranged neatly in a specific number of rows and directions. These details matter a lot. 1200 hours to 1300 hours. What? I suppose I should explain that for basically people that that basically just do 12 hours. One. Just basic. If you're confused at the hours, just count up from 12. So one would be 13. 2 would be 14, 3 would be 15, so on and so on. I'm more used to this type of thing. In fact, that's actually how I have my phone. Anyway, lunchtime. Roasted fin over fire, each while glancing at his handy turn. 1300 to 1500. Takes a nap or walk. Sometimes goes off to the wharf to review his angling skills, or sits on top of the bench to talk to strangers on proper angling spots. Endeavors on and on while making the fins restless in the water. 1500 to 1730. Then stall afternoon shift. Continues selling fins while observing the passers showing familiar faces that shouldn't be showing up. 1745 to 1940. Night angling at deeper waters. Final push during sunset. Specifically targets great fins that tend to be cautious and alert. These specimens are almost active during sunset. This is also a time when enemies are most likely to make their mistakes. 2000 to 1200 to 2100. Dinner time. Organizes his catch of the day for the day. Records the angling results and daily fin tell. Boo! Boo! He gathered from all that talking. 21 to 2200. Rest time. Relaxes on the balcony and gazes at the stars with his only eye. Occasionally gets reminded of those eventful nights, turf wars or distant memories. Yet they also feel like undercurrents that could suddenly snag him while he angles. 2100. Prepares the bait. Texas angling. Who will be the fin for tomorrow? Anecdotes about Alesh. The new Asian arrived at the secret locale at the corner of the wharf for the first time. The owner of the fin stall lay motionless on the bench with a look on his face. The fins being sold have been laid out in a specific arrangement. Gray fins face north, red cuparos were paired, and tucked away at the corner was a strangely patterned white fin. The Asian blinked as he worked his mind to recall the fin code he remembered. Struggle as he could, he failed to read the intel. Just as he was about to call the headquarters, the stall owner tossed him a fin with bits of crushed ice. No great fins today, he said. There's no nutritional needs with this one. The Asian was stunned for 2 seconds before he accepted the fin and nodded in gratitude. He walked around 30 yards before turning around and looked at the stall again. The owner leaned on his bench as though the transaction had never taken place. Word of the day, situation normal. Intel is accurate and pretty reliable. The popper tactic was first proposed by operator Alesh. Its theoretical basis was based on poppers, a type of lures used by hobby anglers. According to Alesh's extremely detailed yet unverifiable explanation, the popper is a fake buoyant fin. Poppers are meant to dance, glimmer, wag their tails, annoy, and extremely piss off the foul-tempered big fins to the point where they bust out of the deep. Simply put, poppers do this. Don't want to move? Whatever. Watch me pollute your turf, play dead, I'm not gonna have your stuff so you come out and beat me. I didn't realize I get a co-star on stage with me. What, I need to explain what happened recently? Oh, that was just a basic covert ops job. Some boy needed to get through Route 17, but that LB's loved to play place. Bandit seized cargo, kidnapped people, even took over radio stations. Late night traffic radios literally became a stinging cesspit of crude breaking. I think that's how it's supposed to be pronounced. I'm not sure. I was about to go fix my rod, when I got the mission notification. And when I read the words basic covert operations, I suddenly got overwhelmed by work procrastination. Anyway, before I left for the job, I looked at the map and mumbled, let's try the popper. Of course, nobody knew what I was talking about. Somebody probably thought it was some new weapon and they graved without thinking. Naivety is astonishing. I built most of it myself and people went along. Anyway, it was something really simple. We dumped 2 trucks by the road and dressed them like they broke down, along with a few crates of firearms. Don't get too excited. The crates were filled with bricks. And it's great. Class 1 hazard. The greats to make it look shit real. I almost said shit. You know? When we played the SOS recording with trembling voice, shit is surreal, man. More real than that empty rod in my previous language. And the first breaker mob came as expected. They paced around the setup like a beast lord and by fresh fins, got all hungry and excited. Every one of them wanted a piece of the free takeaway. It wasn't even over. I grabbed the SOS breaker, SOS radio ladder, and the second mob arrived. First group of boys got really pissed. They went from, I want a bite, to, you're not getting a bite. These blightheads seemed bother green and went right all at war with each other. It's like wild, rabid cloud beasts just scraping for a fin. So the crew hid behind the slopes and enjoyed the breaker show. They even commented on their fighting styles while snacking on dried fin roast. Man, it was buggly as hell. I remember hustling this barber punk when I was a kid, but I still fight better than these dudes. When the battle winded down, we swooped in like professional crime scene photo takers. Takes pictures, clean up the entire place, the dead, disabled, maybe dead or disabled. Anyway, the breaker war didn't leave many who could talk. So the entire convoy got there. Some trucker even told me, bro, that was some masterful covert op. I said thank you. My OG plan was to look at the skies all day, then expect the entire school fins to show up. The biggest takeaway from this was me verifying a principle. Everything is like England. Making things up along the way Finn provides. Way better than making detailed plans, IMO. And that is basically going to be it for this session of operator stuff. We still have a decent amount too. Okay. We still have a decent amount also. So, but yeah, that's where we're going to go ahead and end. And we're going to go on to intermission for Lego Incredibles. Be right back.